One thing my kids and I love, man, we love like superhero movies and sci-fi stuff, right? I see some Doctor Who people over here, right? Yes, we're really into Star Wars. We got Star Wars fans. All right, my people. I actually have a pastor friend of mine who is against Star Wars. I know. Quite frankly, I find his lack of faith disturbing. I had to ask him. I said, why? Why would you be against Star Wars? And he said, well, I want to make sure my kids grow up with a strong biblical foundation. And I was like, well, so do I. I just want them to know if they get out of hand, they're getting force choked for sure. I'd be like, you have failed me for the last time. Mom said you could clean your bedroom on Saturday. My bad. My bad. Put some ice on that. I don't have the force. Lucky for them. But it doesn't stop me from trying. One Saturday, I plopped on the couch, and the remote control was on the other side of the room. Eventually, my son got frustrated, got up, and threw me the remote. And I was like, ha-ha, Jedi mind trick. Yeah, these are the snacks your dad is looking for. They're good kids. They're good kids. I try to communicate to them what life was like when I was a kid, you know. And recently, we were driving down the highway and saw one of these state police billboards. And it said, drive sober or get pulled over. I told my kids, I'm like, you know, when I was a kid, the drinking and driving slogan was, arrive alive, don't drink and drive. Which means the state police have downgraded the penalty for drinking and driving. It used to be, if you drink and drive, certainty of death. And now, if you drink and drive, we are seriously going to inconvenience you. What are they going to downgrade to next? If you drink and drive, we're telling your mom. Don't make us do that. Man, I think the government is just giving up on the younger generation. They changed that forest fire slogan. I don't know if you heard that. You know, only you can prevent forest fires is now just wait for it to rain. We weren't going out there anyway. You know, the anti-drug slogan, they added a tagline, right? Just say no to drugs or move to Colorado. That's how you know they gave up on them. They gave up on them. I try to connect with my boys, and I try to share with them what it was like how I grew up. Because I grew up in inner city Philadelphia in the 70s, and we were very poor and even homeless at times. And you were right not to clap there. That's a good spot not to clap. You know? But I try to share with them, like holiday times as a poor kid was completely different. And not the major ones, even the minor ones were different. You know what poor kid Groundhog Day is? You walk in the kitchen and flick on the lights. If the roaches don't scatter, 6 more weeks of winter. I don't know why we bothered. Because I lived in Philly. Our roaches were tough. When you flick the lights on, they were like, can I help you with something? You hungry? There's a Cheerio under the fridge. Poor kid Groundhog Day. Poor kid Halloween was special for me, though. It really was. Because every year I had a costume. I would just go out in my street clothes, and I was a hobo every year. That is very insensitive. I was a transient every year. Wow, that just got uncomfortable for a minute there, didn't it? Look, you guys, it is okay to laugh. I'm telling my story about what God took me from and where he's taken me to, right? So this is my story. I get to share this with you. You know, so it's okay for you to laugh. You're going to have to trust me. My therapist is laughing his way to the bank every week. That guy's got a boat named after me. He calls it the SS Insecurity. So we went out when we were kids and we celebrated Halloween as poor kids because it was awesome because we got free candy. I always got 2 huge bags of candy, and my mom would take one and put it away so she had something to put in our Easter baskets. To this day, I still have no idea what Dracula teeth have to do with the resurrection. I don't know. And their school situation and my school different because they went to grade school in the suburbs, and I was blessed to be able to do that for them. And I went to grade school in inner city Philadelphia in the 70s, and we had completely different situations. At their school, when it was below 40 degrees, they weren't allowed to go out for recess. Are you kidding me? My teacher, Mrs. Turner, she would have been like, I don't care if Bobby lost 2 toes last week. You kids are going outside. If it's icy, just hold on to the rusty fence. Kids, that's how we got tough. And tetanus. That's how we got tough, man. At their school, they weren't allowed to run at recess. I know! Not allowed to run at recess. I'm pretty sure that's a constitutional right, running at recess. Man, it was so sad when you would drive by the schoolyard at recess time. All the kids were standing in a circle playing tag. Yeah, just poking each other. Until the school said that was bullying. And now they just stand in a circle and text it to each other. I'm unfriending you. Not my school, man. Not only did they encourage us to run, they taught us a little game called Red Rover. You remember this, Jem? We're going to build a human wall of children and then send another child running headlong into it. Meanwhile, the teachers are over in the corner of the schoolyard placing bets. I got $20 on the fat kid. I made Mrs. Turner a lot of money that year.